You've heard the chatter. Sarasota's that it place right now, the kind of city that shows up in every best places to move video, every article about Florida lifestyle, every drone shot gliding over turquoise waters and waterfront condos. And yeah, on this surface, it's stunning. Walkable streets, boutique restaurants, calm Gulf breezes. It's the kind of vibe that makes people stop scrolling and start wondering, could I actually live there? But here's where things get real. Sarasota's not just beach days and rosé by the pool. It's growing. Quietly, steadily, not in a flashy high-rise way, but with new neighborhoods, reimagined downtown pockets, and communities that are starting to buzz with energy. I know because I live here. I've seen people who've made the leap thinking they were stepping into low-key coastal living and ended up navigating HOA quirks, sticker shock, or a new neighborhood that's under construction for the next 12 months. But I've also seen it click when somebody finds a spot that matches their pace. Not too fast, not too sleepy, and they start to feel like life just got a little clearer. So yeah, there's hype, but there's also real momentum here as well. So if you're thinking about making the move, or if you're just wondering if Sarasota's worth all the noise, buckle up, because I'm pulling back the curtain and telling you what it's really like to live here. No fluff, no filter. And yeah, we're gonna figure out if Sarasota's destination living is all hype or if it's the real deal. Alright, so Sarasota's officially on the map now, but how did that even happen? Because if you've been paying attention, this wasn't always the city people were buzzing about. Sarasota's always had that slower charm, a little artsy, a little beachy, and a whole lot more relaxed than its bigger Florida neighbors. It was the place to where you vacationed, or maybe you retired early if you were lucky, not the one topping relocation lists. But then the world changed, and Sarasota quietly started shifting with it. And suddenly, people wanted lifestyle more than square footage. They were looking for sunshine, space, and a different kind of daily rhythm, and this city, it delivered. Not loud, not flashy, just consistently better at things that matter when you actually live somewhere. We started seeing coffee shops fill up with remote workers instead of retirees. Restaurants that used to take walk-ins started needing reservations. And entire neighborhoods like Waterside, Sky Ranch, parts of South Sarasota started to feel less like new construction zones and more like actual communities with momentum. And yet, Sarasota still feels balanced. It hasn't lost its pace. The vibe's still intact. It's just a little busier now, a little more built up, and a bit more on people's radar. So the real question isn't, when did Sarasota get cool? It's, what's actually changed here, and where is it headed next? Here's what's easy to miss about Sarasota. The momentum didn't hit all at once. It's been building, not loud, not dramatic, but steady. And if you know where to look, it's obvious that something's been shifting here. This isn't a city chasing size or flash. It's evolving in a way that makes sense for how people actually want to live instead of massive overhauls. We're seeing layered growth, thoughtful neighborhood planning, lifestyle-driven communities, and a new kind of energy moving in. The people relocating here, they're different from a few years ago. It's not just seasonal traffic and second homes anymore. We're seeing professionals who've gone remote, families looking for lifestyle-first moves, and folks ready to trade fast-paced burnout for something slower, healthier, more intentional. And what's being built reflects that shift. Neighborhoods like Sky Ranch, Talon Preserve, Grand Park, parts of Waterside, they're not just rows of rooftops. They're designed around trails, cafes, schools, dog parks, the kind of daily flow that actually feels human. Downtown, it's evolving too. It's not exploding, and that's the point. Sarasota doesn't need a skyline takeover. It's getting better at what it's always been good at: arts, food, walkability, and waterfront charm without the chaos of a mega city. Of course, growth brings friction. Real estate here, it isn't cheap anymore. Some roadways, they can stretch your patience, and some neighborhoods still feel like they're figuring out who they want to be. But for the right kind of person, it's working really well. And if you're even thinking about Sarasota as a potential move, don't wing it. Our real estate team is on the ground every single day, helping people just like you figure out not just what looks good on paper, but what actually fits their life and where they want to be. We know the rhythms, the red flags, the local curveballs, and we are here to help you every step of the way. All of our info is on the screen and in the description below. Call, text, email, we're easy to reach, and when you're ready to find your next home, we want to be your Sarasota real estate team of choice. We study the local data, but stats, they only tell part of the story. To really get why Sarasota feels different now, you need to see who is showing up, the people trading snow for sunsets, burnout for balance, and landing in neighborhoods that they never expected. This is what that shift actually looks like. So who are the people that are really making the move to Sarasota? We've helped couples leave downtown Chicago high-rises for single-family homes in Lakewood Ranch. They traded elevators and parking garages for driveways, palm trees, and screened-in lanai that backs up to conversation or a nice waterfront view. Then there was the family in their late 30s looking for a warmer climate and great schools. They ended up in Sky Ranch, and the kids are just now starting school at the new Sky Ranch K-8 school. Retirees from Ohio and Pennsylvania are landing in places like Palmer Ranch and Waterside, attracted by the amazing locations that those are in with some of the best amenities around. We've even worked with retirees who had downtown high-rises in their heads until they toured Waterside and realized they could have water views, walking trails, and still be minutes from downtown without the tourist traffic. But it's not just about the neighborhoods. It's about the pace. The people moving here, they're choosing Sarasota for a reason. They're not looking to be in the center of chaos. They're looking for something a little more intentional, a little more livable. They want space, but also community, simplicity, but not silence. So now I want to hear from you. Where do you think that you'd land? Downtown walkability, coastal and quiet, or maybe a neighborhood with sidewalks, cul-de-sacs that just feels easy? Drop what your vibe and your lifestyle is in the comments. I read every single one, and I love seeing what people are drawn to, because lifestyle might be what brings people here, but ultimately living well is what gets them to stay. So here's the part where the glossy postcards fade out a bit, and we talk about what daily life in Sarasota really looks like once the beach tan fades and the humidity hits. Because yeah, living here can feel like a dream, but the reality, it's got layers. That July humidity and rainstorms, it sneaks up on people. One minute you're paddleboarding, and the next you're drenched from sideways rain that showed up out of nowhere. Your AC, it doesn't just run, it hums like it's on a mission. And if you're not budgeting for that electric bill in midsummer, you're definitely gonna feel it. Then there's the home itself. Maybe you fall in love with that freshly painted coastal ranch and Gulf Gate. Clean stucco, fresh paint, stylish staging, right? We've all seen that on Zillow. You pop the hood and suddenly you're looking at a 15-year-old roof, some questionable drainage around the lanai, and an elevation report that's flirting with the flood zone. The charm, it's still there, but so is that $4,800 a year insurance quote. We've seen newer construction with sneaky HOA layers, like fees for the community, the amenities, the maintenance, and somehow still no street parking after 9 p.m. But none of that means Sarasota's not worth it. It just means you have to know what you're stepping into, because Florida living isn't always set it and forget it. And that's where we come in. Our real estate team was recognized as one of the top 25 in the country. We walk with clients through this stuff every day, explaining what's under the surface, what fees to watch out for, how to compare coverage before you fall in love with that backsplash. We have a vendor list to help you after you move in with electricians or plumbers or contractors. See, it's not about fear. It's about being ready, because once you are, that's when Sarasota shines. See, you're grilling in February, you're catching a view of manatees on the canal on a Tuesday morning, and you're watching your stress melt into the water as the sun drops behind Siesta Key. This place, man, it's got a rhythm. You just need the right guide to move in sync with it. Sarasota is not the kind of city that explodes overnight. It doesn't flip a switch and suddenly feel like Miami or Austin. That's not the story here. Sarasota builds slower, but smarter. But if you've been paying attention lately, you've been noticing some serious groundwork being laid for what is coming next. Take the Bay project, for example. That's not just a park expansion. It's a long game. Waterfront green space, Sunset Pass, outdoor performance spots, all tied into downtown without losing that Sarasota soul. It's where people actually gather now. Dog walkers, paddleboarders, families with scooters, retirees catching jazz concerts, and everyone is showing up. And then further east, areas like Lakewood Ranch and Waterside, they're evolving into full-on ecosystems. I'm talking lakefront restaurants, walkable town centers, food trucks under string lights, farmers markets with live music. They're all popping up around places that used to be mostly dirt roads and floor plans. But here's the cool part. It's not just about homes and new buildings. It's how people live here that's starting to shift. Transit's getting smarter, a little more connected, better paths, smoother routes, more ways to move around without always being tucked into your car. And schools, they're getting serious upgrades such as dual language, STEM labs, creative arts. It's like the bar is being raised, but quietly, consistently. Even healthcare and wellness are now leveling up. You're seeing new specialty clinics, boutique wellness centers, and spots like Waterside Place drawing in everything from yoga on the lawn to aging in place specialists. This city is starting to care not just about where you live, but how you live. Sarasota's future isn't about skyscrapers and superhighways. It's about intention. It's about shaping a place that still feels coastal and calm, even as it grows more connected, more dynamic, and more ready for what's next. Because this city, it's not getting louder. It's getting better. So now that you know where it's headed, here's the question that you've been waiting for. Is the hype real, or is it just really good marketing? And here's what I'll say. Sarasota isn't chasing headlines. It's not trying to be the next big thing. It's just been doing its thing quietly, and now people are finally noticing. The beach days, the small town charm, the walkable downtown scenes, the way neighborhoods still feel like actual communities, that's all been here. But what's changed is who's paying attention. The people coming here now, they're not just looking for a tax break or a winter escape. They want lifestyle, balance, something that fits the next chapter of their life. And yes, the hype is starting to catch up, but Sarasota isn't exploding. It's evolving subtly, consistently, thoughtfully. Now, there are real trade-offs, of course. It's not cheap to live near the water. Flood zones and insurance costs can creep up fast if you don't know what to watch for. You're not getting Miami nightlife or Tampa skyline energy, but that's kind of the point, right? I just worked with someone from the Midwest. Their daughter was still in early high school, but couldn't wait to move to Sarasota. Now, I've worked when the kids are like, I don't want to move. Well, she really wanted to move because she was so excited to have a large mall within 15 minutes to where they live, rather than 90 minutes to 2 hours where they currently have to commute to one. So yeah, the hype, it's real, but the people who thrive here, they're the ones who know why they're coming. They've done the work and they didn't do it alone. They found someone like my team to help them make the right decision or confirm what they were already thinking. If Sarasota's been calling your name lately, this is your moment to start the conversation. This isn't about buying a house off a list. It's about landing somewhere that actually feels right. The beach days, the school pickups, the weekend plans that match your rhythm. And that's what our real estate team is here for, helping people like you find the version of Sarasota that fits their life, not just their budget. Call, text, or email anytime. All of our contact info is below. We want to be your Sarasota real estate team of choice. And by the way, if you're still in research mode, that's totally fine. Even if you're early in the process, that first conversation can help you make smarter moves down that line. Now, while you're here, keep going, because we've got a full Sarasota relocation playlist for you that you're going to want to watch. It's deep dives into places like downtown Sarasota, Waterside, Palmer Ranch, Lakewood Ranch, and beyond. Everything you need to start painting the picture of what life could actually look like if you lived here. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this. We appreciate you hanging with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.